Happy New Year.
Shana Tova.
Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel wrote that unless you are striving to be more than a human being, you are bound to be less than a human being. That is why we come together during these high holy days, to pray, to celebrate, to atone, to strive to be a little more, to engage in the work of the soul, and to recognize our potential in this world, to build a scaffold together in the quest for a higher, a sacred, a more meaningful life. I'm Rabbi Ben Zeidman, and all of us at Temple Mount Sinai wish you a Shana Tova Umetuka, a happy and a sweet new year. I am proud to share the bima over the course of these high holy days with Cantor Yvonne Shore. And tonight we also welcome Temple's incredible and dedicated choir, Shir Chadash, under the directorship of Stephen Jackson and accompanied by Elvira Spector. On the bima, we also welcome Temple President Stuart Schwartz and board members Debbie Hamlin, Eddie Treviso, and David Perlman. As we celebrate the high holy days with this prayer book, Mishkan HaNefesh, and you should have the one which is gold in color. Please feel free to let your eyes and your mind wander through the book, as there is so much there. But know that the liturgy is mostly contained on the white pages. Please remember that while I will invite you to stand or sit for certain prayers, we ask that you do as you are physically able to do. Similarly, we are lucky to be one of the few congregations in the country to be able to welcome those of you who are with us in person. And that being the case, please feel free to take a walk outside and enjoy the beauty of this El Paso evening, should you feel the need for a mask break. Please also avoid singing in a style and volume which may push extra aerosols through your mask, because we are so grateful to have all of you here with us this evening. Tonight, we welcome the new year together. We seek to be more than we are. We reflect on how, imbued and blessed with the divine image, we might return to the soul's purpose, return our focus to living lives which are in keeping with the sacred calling to become our best selves. And so we begin in song in the middle of page 6.
Chodesh,
turn to page 10 as we welcome forward Misty co-presidents Andrew Cabrera and Tess Mansfield, as well as past president Sherry Schwartz forward.
Creation's brightest light, the mystics say, was hidden at the dawn of time. But on this sacred night, this night of hope and joy, a glimmer of that light is here. In candles' flame, in children's eyes, in eyes aglow with wisdom's light, it shines in the face of the ones we love. In grateful hearts, in tears of loss, it lives in memories of goodness and in our own desire to do right, to try again, to build anew, to ask forgiveness and make peace. We enter this new year and look upon the beauty of these lights, so may the days of awe renew the light in blooms.
Please rise.
Source of blessing, eternal our God, you fill the universe with majestic might, teaching us holiness through sacred obligations, giving us the mitzvah of bringing light on this festival. Source of blessing, eternal our God, you fill the universe with majestic might, giving us life, upholding the life within us, and bringing us to this time.
On this day of new beginnings, we sing the blessing, expressing our gratitude for the opportunity to be living at this sacred moment of possibility. Shehecheanu.
Please join with us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
We remain standing as we turn to page 15 and welcome Allison Westerman forward to the front right of the sanctuary for the shofar. Page 15.
Mishpat le'Elohei Yaakov
the new moon, at the full moon. For our feast day, sound the shofar. For that is the law of Israel, the way of the God of Jacob. Hallelujah, beteka shofar, praise God with the blast of the shofar. Baruch atah Adonai, shomea kol truat amo Yisrael barachamim. Blessed are you in our lives, Adonai. You hear with love the shofar, true voice of your people Israel.
Tekiah.
Page 17. Here I am, so poor in deeds. I tremble in fear, overwhelmed and apprehensive, before you to whom Israel sings praise. Although unworthy, I rise to pray and seek favor for your people Israel, for they have entrusted me with this task. Therefore, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, Adonai, Adonai, merciful, gracious God, who inspires awe, I pray to you for success on my path. I pray for myself and my community. Do not hold them responsible for my wrongs and offenses. May my deeds cause them no shame, and may their deeds cause me no shame. We read together on page 18. Accept my prayer as though it were offered by one more worthy of this task, a scholar proficient in prayer, unblemished in character, pleasing in voice. Let love be our banner, let it banish our wrongs. May Israel's strife and misfortunes be turned into joy, renewed life, and peace. Love, peace, and truth, may they prevail among us, and may there be no impediment to my prayer. Adonai, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, great, mighty, awe-inspiring God Most High, who said to Moses, I will be what I will be. May it be your will that my prayer reach your presence for the sake of the righteous and blameless, the honest and pure of heart, for the sake of your glory. You hear your people's prayer with compassion. Blessed are you, the one who hears prayer. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, yehi ratzon shenizkeh livirchotecha bishnat chameshet alafim shva me'ot shmonim u'shtayim. Our God and God of our ancestors, may we know your blessings in the year 5782. Eternal One, bless us and the whole house of Israel with renewed life, happiness, and peace, comfort and courage, resilience and strength. May the words of our hearts be acceptable to you in the new year that stretches before us. We are forever grateful for the gift of life. Page 20, our call to prayer. If you are able to remain standing, please do so as we read together on page 22. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your great name fills the universe with majestic might. Your word creates twilight and dusk. As your wisdom opens the gates of night, your discernment separates the changing seasons and causes the passage of time. The stars arrayed across the sky reveal your design. You roll out the cycle of darkness and light, shaping day and night. You sweep away day and carry the world into nightfall, setting day apart from nighttime. You are God of all we can perceive, and all that is beyond our perception. Living, eternal God, be our sovereign to the end of time. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravi. Blessed are you, Adonai, creator of twilight and dusk. Love beyond all space and time. Your love enfolds your people, Yisrael. We receive it in your teaching, your gift of Torah, sacred obligations, discipline, and law. So let us speak these teachings when we lie down and rise up and find joy forever in your Torah and mitzvot. They are the very essence of our life, ours to ponder and study all our days. May we never lose or be unworthy of your love. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, for you are blessed, the one who loves your people, Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated as we continue with the Ve'ahavta and the High Holy Day Nusach.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם. בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, וייתן קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 34. Witnesses to this heroic might, the people thanked and praised God by name, freely accepting the reign of heaven. Then Moses and Miriam and all Israel sang to you this song of utter joy. חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, ברוך שמו, גאל ישראל. We praise you, eternal power, the one who redeemed Israel. Page 40.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ואלמד דברי חירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכם וביומכם ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בגלה אבי זמן קריב ויאמרו יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עולמי. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהיה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה. בריחו לעילא ולעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ויאמרו אמן.
We rise for the Amidah, page 42.
Adonai, open all my lips. הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
We continue together in Hebrew on page 46. Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, mechaye hakol ata rav lehoshia, morid hatal, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye hakol barachamim rabim, somech noflim verofeh cholim umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar, mi chamocha bal gevurot, umi domelach, melech memit umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua, mi chamocha el harachamim, zocher yitzurav l'chaim barachamim, v'ne'eman ata l'hachayot hakol, baruch ata Adonai, mechaye hakol. Page 49. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh. Ukadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha sela. You are holy. Your name is holy. Seekers of holiness praise you day by day. Selah. You may be seated.
This needs no Hebrew. One word, uvchein. One more time, uvchein.
And so, in your holiness, give all creation the gift of awe. Turn our fear to reverence. Let us be witnesses of wonder, perceiving all nature as a prayer come alive. We bow to the sovereignty of your strength, the primacy of your power. We yearn for connection with all that lives, doing your will with wholeness of heart. Awe-inspiring is your creation, all-encompassing your transcendent name. Page 52. You and you alone, Adonai, will reign over creation upon Mount Zion, home of your presence, and in Jerusalem, a city set apart by you. As the psalmist believed, Adonai will reign eternally, your God, Zion, for all generations. Hallelujah. Kadosh ata v'norah shemecha, ve'ein Eloah mibaladecha kakatuv, vayigbah Adonai tzavaot b'mishpat, v'ha'el hakadosh nikdash b'tzdaka. You are holy, your name is awe. There is nothing divine beyond you. As the prophet Isaiah taught, the source of all might is exalted through justice, the God of holiness made holy through righteousness.
Baruch atah Adonai, HaMelech HaKadosh. Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai, holy sovereign. Page 54. Page 56. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, mloch al kol ha'olam kulo bichvodecha, v'hinaseh al kol ha'aretz bikarecha. God, who is ours and God of our fathers and mothers, in your glory reign over the infinite expanse of space and time. In your grandeur be exalted. Through your power show us your reality. Then all who dwell on earth shall understand that you are their maker. Astound us with the beauty of your presence, so that every breath of life shall say, eternal is the God of Israel, all embracing God's rule of sovereignty and sovereignty. So much seems uncertain. We are insecure in every moment, wondering what the winds of fortune will bring. Therefore, we offer those words. We sanctify the state of the new year. We sanctify God's name. These words are an expression of hope that the world will soon come to be one of order and justice, symbolized by the ancient metaphor of God's sovereignty. Reflecting on this continued struggle towards a world of perfection, we take a moment now for silent prayer, and then we'll continue on page 60.
שכינתו לציון.
On page 73, we reflect on the need for healing a broken world, a world feeling more broken, perhaps, than usually. And we reflect on the need for healing for those of our loved ones, members of our community, and all people in society who are struggling with the need for healing of mind, body, and spirit. I invite you, if you have a name to share that name at this time, that we might join you in praying for a loved one, a friend. Please share their name, and then we will sing together and pray for them and all in need of healing.
Larry Tolan.
Adela Seaman.
Page 73. We look to the middle of page 74. On this night of return, let us find the humility to come close to you and open ourselves to your presence, for you are absent only when we fail to make room for you in our hearts, distant only when we turn away from you. Now, as others have done before us, let us overcome doubt and speak these words of affirmation. We call you Avinu. As loving parent, forgive our wrongs and failings, accept us in our human frailty. We call you Malkeinu. As sovereign of our souls, help us rise from our brokenness to build a world of shalom, of peace. To this vision we offer ourselves anew. Please rise if you are able. We read responsibly. Avinu Malkeinu, ein lanu melech ela ata.
Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, you alone are our sovereign.
Avinu Malkeinu lema'ancha rachem aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, for your sake show us mercy.
Avinu Malkeinu aseh imanu lema'an shemecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, act toward us as benefits your name.
Avinu Malkeinu shlach refuah shlema l'cholei amecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, bring healing and wholeness to the ill among us.
Avinu Malkeinu kira roah gazar dinenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, allay the harshness of the decree against us.
Avinu Malkeinu kodvenu b'sefer geula v'shua.
Avinu Malkeinu, inscribe us in the book of redemption and renewal.
Avinu Malkeinu zochrenu b'zichron tov lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, remember our goodness and call it to mind.
Avinu Malkeinu aseh lema'ancha v'hoshienu.
Avinu Malkeinu, act for your sake and save us.
Avinu Malkeinu shema kolenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, hear our voice.
Avinu Malkeinu chatanu lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, we have strayed and sinned before you.
Avinu Malkeinu chamol aleinu va'al olaleinu v'tapenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and our families.
Avinu Malkeinu kalei dever v'cherev v'ra'av me'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, halt the onslaught of sickness, violence, and hunger.
Avinu Malkeinu kalei kol tsar u'mastin me'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, halt the reign of those who cause pain and terror.
Avinu Malkeinu kodvenu b'sefer chaim tovim.
Avinu Malkeinu, enter our names in the book of lives well lived.
Avinu Malkeinu chadesh aleinu shana tova.
Avinu Malkeinu, renew for us a year of goodness.
Avinu Malkeinu chonenu va'anenu ki ein banu ma'asim. Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu.
Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, answer us with grace, for our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love. Please be seated.
Am I very muffled with the mask on? A little bit from up here. Stay back. Think back to the last time we were together to celebrate Rosh Hashanah. The last time we were able to welcome people into this sanctuary to welcome the new year. September 29th, 2019. And look how far we've come. Each and every one of us has become an expert epidemiologist, able to debate the finer points of the COVID data. Who can make it through the day without checking the updated infection, positivity, and hospitalization rates? But in truth, what a tragedy. One which has made other difficulties more tragic than necessary. It has not only killed so many, it has also made it impossible for their loved ones to properly mourn, to bid them farewell. It made finding shelter more difficult during far too many national emergencies and natural disasters these last 18 months. It created broken homes and left our most vulnerable, those who already face hardship and injustice, with even less support and protection than they had before. Many have lost their jobs, their businesses, their livelihoods. Our current economic outlook leaves every participant in our economy anxious and fearful. We have been striving hard to live our lives the best we can, but each of us is like a wall. Wave after wave of tension, anxiety, concern, and stress, it crashes upon us, not a one of us immune. Some of us have found better ways to cope than others. Some of us hide it better than others. Some of us start to show cracks earlier, but remain firm for longer. And others of us quickly break up when the first crack appears. Temple Mount Sinai has not been immune to the stresses introduced to us by this challenging time. With the shutdown in the early months of 2020, we adapted. The rules were simple: nothing in person. But as time went by, it became more difficult, each of us with different needs, different wants, different opinions about how to prioritize and risk health and safety. Navigating it all has been an exhausting and a stressful effort for us, your temple staff, and lay leaders alike. And in recent months, it became very challenging here. Lack of surety as we plan each thing, anxiety over the pandemic's unknown future. The rules keep changing. And so many disagree over how Temple should respond in each moment. And times of transition are always challenging, and this is a time of transition unlike most. The last few months have been a remarkably tough time for the incredible people here who make things happen. And I admit, because I know that this is a safe space for us all, the last few weeks have been a tough time for me. So much comes to a head each year with the high holy days, but this year's challenges have left those of us who work behind the scenes reeling. And so I find myself needing to reflect on the reasons that Temple Mount Sinai and temple life in general exists. Ironically enough, it exists to be here in times like these. Reflecting with a colleague, Rabbi David Wolfman, I realized that Temple Mount Sinai is where we go when we want to be together. Temple Mount Sinai is where we go when we want to feel spiritually centered. Temple Mount Sinai is where we go when we want a safe space for ourselves and our children and our parents. Temple Mount Sinai is where we go when it is time to celebrate and when it is time to mourn. Temple Mount Sinai is where we go when we want to feel comfortable and at home. And it is where we go when we want to feel challenged. In short, Temple Mount Sinai's truest purpose is to be the place that we so desperately need, a place for being together. And yet that thing that we so desperately need has been rendered profoundly challenging the last year and a half. Temple Mount Sinai entered this pandemic in a relatively unique position in the context of Jewish America. As a center of Jewish life for so many in El Paso, a city where affiliation rates of connection to Jewish institutions and organizations is unusually high. A city where the center of Jewish life remains the house of prayer. So many synagogues and temples around the country lost that years ago. But when you come to El Paso, you find a true sacred community at Temple Mount Sinai. Now, so many synagogues around the country will have to redefine themselves, because for a time we all cloaked ourselves in the garb of online programming. But while many congregations will have to figure out how to leverage their online offerings into the creation of a sacred community from scratch, we are in the literal process of teshuvah, not repentance, though of course we have all made plenty of mistakes, but literally teshuvah, turning back around to the thing that we were before, the thing that we were meant to be all along, a sacred community of people. All we have to do is remember what we already are. We are Temple Mount Sinai. And we have long scoffed at buzzwords from the national reform movement we didn't need, like audacious hospitality and warm and welcoming, because we exude these things from our kishkas, and we live and breathe community. And for a year and a half, we've had to put so much of that on hold. So we need you to do what you have done for next month, 123 years, to bring your heart to your congregation and to imbue this place with the sacredness that is your soul. Temple is a place which is first and foremost about connecting with one another in sacred ways. It is remarkable that we now live at a time when large congregations, nonprofits, are all stimulating the intellect with incredible online programming. What a wonderful time to engage in Jewish learning. And so, in a sense, it is good that the temple has always been about something more profoundly personal. Yes, of course we pride ourselves on bringing great programs, on wonderful scholar weekends, on incredible music, and we will continue those things. But our goal is different. The mission is to be precisely what all of us need right now, a sacred place for gathering. Despite all the wonderful things we now have access to online, we realize the soul-sized hole that is filled only when we can sit together to learn, to pray, to sing, to laugh together, to cry together, to welcome a new baby into the community together, to dance the hora around a couple together, and to shovel soil into the grave together. In that light, I'd like to welcome you to take part this year in our Yisker Stone project. We've lost so many over the course of the pandemic, and we sometimes forget that the person on the other side of the screen or their picture or their disembodied voice is another human being with wants and needs, joys and sorrows. We've lost so much time, but we've made it through this challenging time in no small part because of the people who came before us, who taught us how to bring our best selves to meet the challenge of any moment. As you depart the sanctuary over the course of Rosh Hashanah, we invite you to take a Yizkor stone with you. They'll be on a table outside the front doors. Decorate it how you wish. Write names on it or don't. It is just a representation of the everlasting presence of the loved ones that you have lost along your life's journey. On Yom Kippur, we traditionally say Yizkor, memorial prayers for our 7 relationships: father, mother, brother, sister, son, daughter, and spouse. Not just those lost over the past year, but anyone we've ever lost. We welcome you to give physical representation to their blessed memories by bringing your stone back with you on Yom Kippur to place it on the edge of the bima anytime after the morning service concludes. This will, I hope, enable all of us to contextualize just how much memory and how much soul we bring into the sanctuary. We will see how important it is that we are able to gather to lend strength and comfort to one another in sacred community, whether the people you see around you are outwardly mourning or not. In past years, we've taken so much for granted. Let us reflect on how community is an anchor, a rock of support. Temple Mount Sinai serves as the axle for the wheel that is Jewish life, and each of us is a spoke, lending strength and assurance to the structural integrity of the wheel. These have indeed been very difficult times, and it is precisely now that we need to be sure that we are recognizing what all of us need. And so we must let go of the politics of division and anger. We must let go of the way our anxieties and fears have caused us here and there to respond to one another with discord and discontent. We must embrace the good that is present in those we encounter, regardless of how different they look or sound or vote. We must give one another the benefit of the doubt and shed the armor that we have built up around our souls to ensure we can encounter one another soul to soul to bring this sacred place, this sacred community forward into a post-pandemic era as vibrant and strong as ever. What we need is Temple Mount Sinai, and what Temple Mount Sinai needs is each and every one of us at our best. Now is a time when everything is confusing, and when all of us are doing our best. But it's all new and different, and in any moment, no one knows what comes next. So now is when we need you to share your incredible selves, to share your incredible time, to share your joys and your sorrows, and to give us the honor of being with you. Allow me to say what we already know, to pray with the words we see nearly every time we are together, and I believe they're on the bottom of the back cover of the High Holy Day program. And these are the first sentences of Temple's mission and vision. We are a congregation of supportive, caring, and diverse people with a rich history. And Temple Mount Sinai, a diverse Reform congregation, is committed to honoring our heritage and laying a foundation for a vibrant Jewish future. Thank you for all that you do and all that you are. Thank you for all of the gifts that you bring. Without you, Temple Mount Sinai would not be what it is. And only together can we ensure that 5782 is the bright and wonderful year our world deserves. Happy New Year. We welcome Susie May forward as we turn to page 78.
Lift this cup for the year that is gone, for mountaintop moments and the taste of joy. celebrations shared, milestones met, all we've mastered and achieved since last we met. For wedding rings, tears, and kisses under the chuppah, new babies' first words and first steps, for the children who bless our homes and bring life to our community, for B'nai Mitzvah and confirmands, young teachers of this holy congregation, ours to cherish and guide with love, for beloved wives and husbands, sisters and brothers, for loyal friends who grow more precious with each passing year, for this community which nourishes us all, for all we've learned, for all we've struggled through, for challenges surmounted and disappointments met with courage, for the last moments shared with those we loved and lost. For parents and grandparents whose memories are with us forever, we lift this cup for the year that is gone, for the year that begins. May we meet it in strength, in unity, in hope. We lift life's cup and celebrate survival, so may we sanctify each day that is ours.
On the middle of page 79, please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei b'ri hagafen Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol olam ורוממנו מכל לשון וקידשנו במצוותיו ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה את יום הזיכרון הזה יום תרועה מקרא קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ודברך אמת וקיים לעד ברוך אתה אדוני מלך כל הארץ מקדש ישראל מלך כל הארץ מקדש ישראל מלך על כל הארץ מקדש ישראל ליום הזיכרון ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו והגיענו
seated as we welcome forward Temple President Stuart Schwartz to offer special High Holy Day remarks.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to welcome everyone, congregants and guests, to our Erev Rosh Hashanah service. My name is Stuart Schwartz. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and officers of Temple Mount Sinai, I'm proud to serve as president of the temple and so proud to be able to have these services in person and through multi-access. And we welcome you wherever you are. Let me begin my remarks by thanking Rabbi Zeidman and Cantor Shore for such a beautiful service tonight. Rabbi, you spoke about being spiritually centered, and I believe we all felt that tonight. As we listened to Shir Hadash, you did a masterful job, led by Stephen Jackson, our music director, and Elvira Spector on piano. You added so much to this service, and we're so grateful to all of you for the dedication, devotion, and time that you put in to these services in preparation. And I so look forward to the remainder of the Days of Awe with all of you as we get to hear from Shir Hadash again and from Cantor Shore and from Rabbi and continue to be spiritually centered during these high holy days. I would like to thank Debbie Hamlin, Eddie Treviso, and David Perlman, officers of the board at Temple Mount Sinai, for serving with us. Also to Vladi Kranovich, Luann Francis, and others who served, and Nathan Stevens and Laura Brana Rosales, who served as our greeters, and to Keith Myers, Alan Krasny, and Scott Stevens for serving as our ushers and making certain that we could be safe within this sanctuary and socially distant and masked. I cannot begin to express my joy in being together with all of you again, in person and multi-access, after a most difficult 18 months. We have all been through so much navigating our new reality: stay-at-home orders, social distancing, masks. The Hebrew word karet comes to mind, to be cut off. We missed seeing family, grandchildren, friends, and co-workers. Our seniors felt isolated and alone. We lost family members and cherished friends as a result of the pandemic. We ached to be together, but based on conversations our board members had with many of you a few months ago, in order to assess how well Temple accomplished the pivot from live to multi-access, we emerged with high marks in universal expressions of appreciation and gratitude. Think about what Temple was able to accomplish in order to maintain a connection with all of us and to all of our incredibly resilient congregants since March of 2020. Let me just name a few. Virtual and multi-access Shabbat services and Torah study sessions every single Shabbat. 2 virtual Seders. Too many virtual funerals. Virtual adult education and religious sessions. 10 films, 14 sip and paints, 14 meditation sessions, 16 bingo nights, 73 national and locally recognized guest speakers, 8 Kiddush and Kibbutz following Shabbat services, 5 trivia nights, 5 menches and meshugas, 9 book clubs, 15 Misty programs, and the first annual Matzah Ball Gala. And that doesn't include the 11 miscellaneous programs that were also offered. That's over 350 ways that Temple reached out and remained engaged with all of us. And that doesn't even count the literally hundreds of phone calls that were made and Shabbat Shabbat boxes and dinners that were personally delivered. Not only that, but Temple donated over $41,000 to our neighbors in need through your gifts to the Tikkun Olam Fund during COVID, helping to spread the message that Jews in El Paso care. They care about those who are struggling in our community. Speak to me if you'd want to learn more about how you can help in this effort. Together we created and sustained the quintessential definition of a spiritual, giving, and caring community. And there are so many people to thank for making it possible to achieve so much success since we last were together. First and foremost, Rabbi Zeidman, who found ways to maintain relevancy and connection with all of us during these very trying times. To our Shlehim, Tina Wolf and Ellen Goodman and Sebastian Vargas and Marvin Rubin. And our fabulous music ensemble consisting of Carlos Gomez, Linda McLean, Elvira Spector, Shir Hadash, and the Kosher Cowboys. Our extraordinary professional team of Sally Park, Noel Meyer, and Iran Brown, who committed themselves to maintaining the connections with the rest of us this past year and a half. And to Frank Hernandez and Flor Hernandez and their extended family who continue to care for this incredible campus. They were all supported by our dedicated previous Board of Trustees, including our immediate past president, David Leffman, our current board, and all of the other past presidents who continue to contribute to the fabric of Temple in so many meaningful and critically important ways. Our religious school and Hebrew teachers, as well as our Madrahim, managed to find innovative ways to continue to engage with our younger congregants and lift their connections to Jewish identity, history, ritual, prayer, tzedakah, and tikkun olam, finding ways to improve our world. And thanks to those who helped prepare our B'nai Mitzvah students for their special day. Our Misty Youth Group continues to thrive, engaging our younger generation in all things Jewish. And rest assured, if all of Jewish survival rests on the shoulders of these kadults, we have nothing to worry about. Temple is blessed to have the unwavering support of so many committed, enthusiastic volunteers who unselfishly devote their time, talents, and energies to weave the fabric of our extended Temple family by assisting in the office, writing thank you notes, organizing major fundraisers, baking condolence cakes for families sitting Shiva, filling and delivering Shabbat boxes, serving on committees, coordinating and hosting virtual events, taking care of our cemetery, serving as speakers, and all those that shared their strengths, talents, and knowledge at every opportunity. And certainly a special thank you to all of you, whether you're here with us or virtually, for being with us and for making it possible for us to achieve the success that we were able to achieve these past 18 months. I am so grateful to all of you. All of you. Because of all of you, Temple has emerged from this past year and a half stronger, healthier, and even more committed to a bright and inspiring future. So what's next for Temple as we begin the year 5782? First, we have learned that there are ways to connect with each other that we would never have imagined just 2 short years ago. That needs to continue even after the virus is fully controlled. But there is nothing quite like joining together in person as one community, in one sanctuary, to worship together, participate in person together, attend live programs and Shabbatons together, or celebrate special moments. And I encourage everyone, as your comfort level increases, to return to Temple and all that it offers. Second, we have begun planning for the future of music at Temple. We were all sad to say goodbye to Carlos Gomez as he chose to attain his PhD in musicology at Case Western University. But Temple has already started the process of envisioning the next musical chapter. There will be many opportunities to participate in this planning phase, and we encourage you to join us in these discussions. You can also share your ideas by email at music@templemountsinai.com. In the meantime, we are so very grateful to those talented congregants who have enthusiastically stepped forward to literally offer their voice to enliven our Shabbat services in the intervening period. Third, because of the unwavering support from all of you, Temple Mount Sinai is on sound financial footing. But that doesn't mean there aren't challenges. A few short years ago, we chose as a Temple community to focus on remaining on this campus for years to come. But being complacent with that decision and choosing to avoid tackling issues with our 60-year-old building is no longer an option. Earlier this year, Temple engaged Cunningham Architects, a highly qualified and respected Dallas firm responsible for the renovations at Temple Emmanuel in Dallas, to assist in our visioning and dreaming process. We began to evaluate our infrastructure and physical plant to assess our needs for the next 50 years. Ideas have been converted to rough drawings. Estimates of the cost to replace a 60-year-old HVAC system have been sought, and other 21st century improvements have been envisioned. On the afternoon of Yom Kippur, we will have the opportunity to gather for an hour in Schwartz Hall to dream about the future of Temple, about its sacred spaces, and what could make it an even more welcoming and spiritual environment. And we hope you will join us then. And if you have any other suggestions, you can also send them to an email to share your thoughts at building@templemountsinai.com. Based on rough cost estimates we hope to receive soon, we will begin the process of exploring whether we can successfully raise the funds required to address these needs. Here too, Temple has engaged a nationally recognized firm, Mirsky, Jaffe and Associates in Boston, to provide us with an in-depth assessment of our prospects. That process should begin shortly. So as you can tell, we are committed to doing this right. And doing this right includes engaging with all of you, the entire congregation, to seek your ideas and your thoughts and opinions as we continue this visioning and dreaming process. Rest assured, if and when the time is right, we look forward to engaging with you about how you can be part of securing a bright future for Temple Mount Sinai for decades to come. Let me now spend the rest of my time with you on my fourth bullet point on the future of Temple. Your Temple is committed to maintaining a secret and meaningful relationship with all of you. Think about what I'm about to say. Every Jew is a Jew by choice. As Sarah Hurwitz, the former speechwriter for President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama, and by the way, one of our speakers this past year, wrote in her recent bestseller, Here All Along, which she penned to document how she reconnected to her Judaism as an adult after being distanced from it as a child and teenager. Quote, even the most disaffected Jew will admit that there is something that still tugs at them, a spark bringing us back to our root faith, end quote. As she states, Judaism's primary concern is not how strongly we believe, but how we behave. Not just what we think and feel, but what we actually do. Every moment of our lives can be sacred if we choose to make it so, if we make the choice to be engaged. The Hebrew phrase, chespan hanefesh, the accounting of the soul, or soul searching, has special meaning during the days of awe. What calls you to Judaism? Why did you choose to be with us tonight? How important is Judaism in your life? Just by being here tonight, you obviously believe that your Jewishness is worth choosing, but why? Why? Pregnant pause for introspection to take place. Do you choose Judaism because the values rooted in the Torah of community and generosity, tzedakah, caring for the less fortunate, tikkun olam, social justice, and comporting yourself morally and ethically resonate with you? Do you choose Judaism because its rituals and spirituality, or admit it, its gastronomy, speak to you? Do you truly embrace your Judaism? Live it each day. Are you doing all you can to assure that the next generation has a reason to share your chosen faith? Who will, God willing, choose, as you do tonight, to attend high holiday services? Are you willing to engage in the process of wrestling with your assumptions about what Jewish life can look like in El Paso and how Temple Mount Sinai can remain meaningful to all of you, to our children, and to our children's children? It will take all of us to be engaged in our sacred search for relevance and commitment. As just one example of why this is so critically important, a recent survey by the Pew Research Foundation found that while Reform Judaism is the largest and most diverse movement in Jewish life, growing even larger in total percentages, fewer adults in their 20s, 30s, and 40s are choosing to be engaged in their Judaism. Temple must find its own way to reverse that trend, to make Temple more relevant to young families, millennials, and Generation Z. Faith and values go hand in hand. To remain relevant with our younger congregants, and especially with those who have chosen for now not to become part of this incredible congregation, we must engage in efforts that speak to this critically important group, as they speak to all of us, living Torah, leading an ethical and moral life, working for justice and equality, committing ourselves to embrace diversity and inclusiveness, compassion, wholeness, and hospitality, expressing a sense of belonging, acknowledging that there are different and meaningful ways to connect with our Jewish faith, our temple family, and our historic homeland, the state of Israel. One way Temple has expressed its commitment to engage with younger families occurred only a month ago, when Temple and the J Center for Early Learning, or JCEL, entered into a long-term lease to create a home right here at Temple Mount Sinai for 98% of Jewish preschoolers. But that is only the start. Temple can do so much more to engage with our younger families and give them a place to call home. I've mentioned choice and engagement many times during this address. It's intentional. None of what it will take to make a difference will happen without all of us choosing to be engaged. And that starts with us. There's so much more that all of us, each of us, can bring to this discussion. There are so many more ways for each of us to become more actively connected to Jewish life. We need you, each of us, to choose to embrace our past, to engage in conversations about our future, and to engage in strengthening our connections to Temple. There are so many roles you can fill, and we need you. Email or call me. Let me know how you feel about my message, what resonates with you, and how you are ready to step forward to achieve these aspirations. Let's choose to engage together, starting tonight. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., we will convene again for our Rosh Hashanah family service downstairs in the religious school courtyard, followed by our Rosh Hashanah morning service at 10:30 a.m. in the Zorinc Sanctuary right here, as well as multi-access. Sunday, September 12th, Temple families will meet at the Keystone Heritage Park at 9:30 for a high holiday family event, and you can contact Iran Brown for details. And later on Sunday, September 12th at 5 p.m., we will meet at Mount Sinai Cemetery for a Kever Avot memorial service. May the new year bring inspiration, meaning, choice, and engagement to all of us, and through us to the entire world. Shana Tova.
There are no more appropriate words to offer than the words we find on page 82 as we reflect on Stuart Schwartz's message and on the meaning of the High Holy Days. On page 82, we rise for Aleinu L'Shabeach.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Page 87. Death will come, its hand will not be stayed even an instant, nor can we enter into judgment with it. Our question, why, will go unanswered, but this does not mean that we are helpless in the face of death. We can and we do rob death of ultimate victory by living life as long as it is ours to live. To ask of death that it never come is futile, but it is not futility to pray that when death comes for us, it may take us from a world one corner of which is a little better because we were there. When we are dead and people weep for us and grieve, let it be because we touched their lives with beauty and simplicity. Let it not be said that life was good to us, but rather that we were good to life. Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 90. And if you are in a period of shloshim or observing a yahrzeit, the anniversary of a loved one's death at this time, and would like to offer the name aloud of the person you are remembering, I invite you to do so. We mourn for our loved ones. We mourn for all of those who have no one to say Kaddish for them. Page 90. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudisha b'richu, le'ela u'le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru Amen. May the source of peace bestow peace on all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. You may be seated. On page 94, we sing together Adon Olam.
Adon Olam Hashem Malach B'terem kol Yitzir Ivra Le'en Asa V'chefzo kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levodo Yimloch Yora Ve'hoya Ve'hover Ve'hoyeh Betif'ara Ve'hoechad Ve'ein Sheni Le'amshilo Le'achmira Ve'li Reshit Ve'li Tachlit Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'ha'misra Ve'ho'eli Ve'chai Go'ali Betzor Chevli Ve'etzara Ve'honisi Omanos li Menat Kosi Be'yom Ekra Be'yado Akidrochi Ve'eit Rishon Ve'orira Ve'imruchi Geviati Adonai li Ve'hu
Page 98. Our God and God of all generations before us, may it be your will in the coming year to grant us, we read responsively, a year of abundance and atonement,
A year of blessings bestowed and received,
a year of community and compassion,
a year of delight and exaltation,
a year of enlightenment,
a year of friendship and
a
forgiveness,
year of going up in gladness to the land of Israel,
a year of health and healing and humor,
a year of inner strength and well-being,
a year of joy and Jewish celebration,
a year of knowledge and learning for its own sake,
a year of love between parents and children, friends and spouses, brothers and sisters,
a year of mitzvot and moments of sweetness,
a year of nature protected and enjoyed,
a year of optimism and hope,
a year of peace pursued with
a
perseverance,
year of quiet and tranquility,
a year of rain and its season,
a year of song and spiritual growth,
a year of Torah study and tikkun olam,
a year of understanding and unity,
a year of vows fulfilled and violence overcome,
a year of wisdom acquired and shared,
a year of coexistence among the families of the earth,
a year of young and old reaching out to one another.
a year of Zion aglow with light for us and all the world.
Our God and God of generations before us, grant us a year of gratitude to you for the most profound of blessings, your gift of life. Please rise. Yehi ratzon milfanecha, Adonai Eloheinu v'Elokei avotenu v'imotenu, shetchadesh aleinu shana tova umetuka. Our God and God of our ancestors, eternal God of all generations, may your presence in our lives this new year renew our spirits and renew our strength. May it be a good year. May it be a sweet year. We continue together with words of blessing for one another. L'shana tova tikatevu v'techamtenu. May you be inscribed and sealed for a good year. Our celebration continues tomorrow morning. A happy, a healthy, a joyous new year to all.